Did you know that for this movie, at 1 hour and 58 minutes, this is not only the longest Pixar film to date, but was also the longest computer animated feature film to date, until it was beaten by Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse in 2023. I remember how excited I was when I heard that The Incredibles was getting a sequel. I remember seeing this in theaters with my family, and I even have a picture of when I was there just because I was so excited, and I felt like a kid again. So I have 3 things that I liked about this movie, and my last thing is definitely my favorite. But before I get into them, remember to like, subscribe, and drop in the comments below, what are your hopes for Incredibles 3? So the first thing I liked about this movie is I liked the story and the focus. So the story is kind of predictable. I was kind of hoping this would happen where we would have a role reversal. So instead of Mr. Incredible being the main superhero, we have Mrs. Incredible. Now she's getting her chance in the spotlight and kind of coming out of retirement. Helen has always been an amazing character. Like in the first Incredibles movie, we see just how incredible she is. Really happy with how she's treated, just the route they went. Just kind of how you got to see what it looked like for Mr. Incredible to support his wife while she's out doing stuff when he stays back and handles all the responsibility that she does, because there's a really good balance between 2 worlds. And then also the focus, really just like the family dynamics and how family centered it is. The first movie is family centered, but I would say it's more marriage centered in the first movie, where we get to see the push and pull and the tension between Robert and Helen. Now we get to see in this one the push and pull between the marriage, yes, but also the push and pull between what it looks like for Robert to be a responsible father and looking out for the well-being of his kids, especially with Violet having troubles with Tony and Dash just having problems with math, and Jack has all sorts of issues. And it really grounded the movie, the whole family dynamics and just the responsibilities of being a parent, like the frustration that Robert feels and just the loneliness he feels when Helen's not there, and how Helen misses her kids too and misses Robert, but she knows that this is her time to shine. So there's some really hard-hitting moments in the movie when it comes to just what holds a family together, and what can drive wedges between the family and how they have to navigate all of that. Second thing I liked, this movie actually had some pretty strong political themes. The first movie, we get a little bit of it, just like how they went to hiding, the kind of politics around that, but we don't get deep into it until this movie, where most of it is actually political, especially with Winston, the character of Winston Dever. He's trying to get superheroes legal again, and he's got to go through all these different channels, and there's a lot of marketing and campaigning and TV interviews, but it's all in the name of politics. And it tackles a lot of great issues too, of like the morals and the belief systems of why superheroes matter, why people need to believe in them. Superheroes need to be held accountable, but like the morals they have and how important it is that these guys do have morals, because that's tackled really well by the villain Screamslaver, the logic and the reasoning behind why she doesn't like superheroes, doesn't believe in superheroes, is trying to wake people up to being too complacent with superheroes and forgetting that they're humans just like the rest of us. They're broken just like the rest of us. So I like how she challenges the whole paradigm of superheroes, the whole idea of someone coming to save the day. I think she was a solid villain. I actually like Syndrome better, but I think she was still a great villain to have. And just like all the trippy lights and trippy fighting and her hypnotizing people, just a nice little trademark. And then my favorite scene is where Robert finally stops throwing a pity party for himself and embraces just being a father and a husband and supports his wife and realizes like there's so much more out there. Like he feels like he's taking the back seat and not being valued anymore, but it's selfish. Like when you really look at it, it's quite selfish. And you get to see like stuff finally gets to click, and he was busting his butt trying to make it work, and he finally happens, and it just really showed some beauty in what being a father looks like. So I love this movie. I was very, very happy when I saw this movie. It was worth waiting 14 years for. I know there is a Incredibles 3 on the way. That's all I know. I don't know any details about it, but I am hoping it'd be kind of cool if it was a little more Frozone focused now, because we've got a Robert focus, we've got a Helen focus. Now we should get Frozone because they're the OGs. It'd be really cool. So we'll see. I'm very excited for the future of The Incredibles. So for Incredibles 2, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. Remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. What are your hopes for Incredibles 3? See you soon.